welcome or welcome back to my channel. So in this one I'm going to attempt to answer a question that I feel always causes a lot of discourse, and is long hair genetics. I feel like it seems like half of the people think it is, and then the other half think it isn't, even though lately I feel like the whole thing has kind of shifted a little bit, and it seems like more and more people are saying that long hair isn't genetics. You know, you have a lot of women here on YouTube and on TikTok that have longer hair that always talk about how they had to work hard in order to get their hair to that length and how they were not genetically predisposed to have longer hair. So in this one I thought I would tell you my opinion on the subject. So is long hair genetics? In my opinion, not necessarily, because we have seen people with fine hair who have longer hair, and we know that it is harder to have longer hair when you have fine hair, right? Because, you know, just look at fine hair and it breaks, right? So having long hair in and out itself doesn't mean that you were genetically predisposed to have it. All it means is that you have a good length retention game or length retention routine. However, I do think that there is a genetical component to long hair. I do feel like some people have a longer anagen phases than others. Actually, that is not what I feel. That has been backed up by science. Okay, some people's anagen phase is 2 years, some people's anagen phase is 7 years. If you don't know what anagen phase is the length at which your hair is growing until it starts breaking. So basically your hair grows in phases, so it grows for a while and then it starts falling out for a while. So most people are between, you know, 3 to 5 years, but again, you have some outliers who are at the 2 years rate, and you have other outliers, you know, the one with super long hair who are at 7 years, right? So that's why sometimes you will see that some women can't get their hair to grow past shoulder length. And this is not only true for Black women, by the way. I find that there is a stereotype that we are the only group of women that can't grow our hair past shoulder length, which isn't true. Like, there are Caucasian women whose hair is shoulder length and has been shoulder length all their lives. Like, if they go back to pictures of them in school, in primary school, their hair is still just shoulder length, because I guess their anagen phase is 2 years. So after that, their hair starts falling out. So if you are somebody whose anagen phase is 2 years, then your hair is always going to be, you know, around shoulder length. But again, these are outliers. This is the immense minority of people. Most people's hair can grow longer than that. I would say that most people's hair can be at least armpit length. And then again, you have the other, you know, outliers whose hair can grow past waist length, you know, those that have a 7 years anagen phase, again, which is rare. Like, women of all ethnicities don't have hair that is that long. Okay, again, this is not only true for Black women, this is true for all ethnicities of women. Women of all ethnicity don't have hair that touches their butt. Okay, so yeah, the anagen phase plays a big role in whether you're going to have long hair or not. But again, I feel like most people hair can be, you know, anywhere from armpit to bra strap length. Now, longer than that, you would need to have a very long anagen phase to achieve that. And again, if your hair just never seems to pass shoulder length, even though you're doing everything right, then perhaps it's just boils down to the fact that you have a shorter anagen phase. There are other genetical components that can also, you know, favor hair growth, or having longer hair rather. I would say length retention, like, you know, having hair that isn't prone to breakage. You know, some people just have hair that is more coarse, you know, just less prone to breaking. Like, that makes your hair more resilient to heat, for example, and, you know, just rough styling and, you know, handling. So people like that whose hair is more resistant, I would say, are more prone to have longer hair, because, you know, the hair just doesn't break, because everybody hair is growing, right? Like, your hair always grow half an inch a month no matter what you're doing. Contrary to popular belief, there's nothing you can apply on top of your hair that actually make it grow. Hair grows from within, and it has been scientifically, again, proven that every ethnicity of women, whether you are Black or Indian, your hair grows half an inch, more or less. You know, some people hair does grow 3/4 of an inch, where some people hair grows a little less than half an inch, but still, you know, the average is half an inch among, like I said, Caucasian women, Black women, Arab women, and Indian women. Okay, so yeah, we're all the same when it comes to that. So breakage is where the problem is. So if you are somebody whose hair is more coarse, more resilient to breakage, then you are more likely to have longer hair than somebody whose hair is more fine, like we talked about in the very beginning of the video. Like, her hair is more likely to break, so she's I guess less prone to have longer hair. Other things like moisture, if you have 4B4C hair, can be a big thing. Okay, the reason why I feel there's this stereotype that we simply cannot grow our hair is because our hair is very coarse, it's very coily, it's very kinky, right? It goes like this, right? We tend to have, those of us who have 4B4C hair, like ringlets in our hair, like I like to say. And because of that, you know, the natural sebum that our scalp releases, right? Again, every group of women's scalp releases, every human being really scalp releases sebum, right? So that is why you will see, for example, that Caucasian women have to wash their hair regularly every couple of days, like 4 or 5 days, they have to wash their hair. If not, the hair becomes oily, and that is because the sebum that, you know, is coming from their scalps does go down the hair strand and makes their hair look oily. You know, reason why they have to use dry shampoo or wash their hair. Okay, now with us, those of us that have 4B4C hair, when the sebum get released at your scalp, it cannot actually travel down your hair shaft because our hair goes like this. Okay, so the sebums just go a little bit and then it can't really follow, you know, the pattern of our hair, so it just stays and gets stuck there. Reason why we actually have to wash our hair often, also contrary to popular belief, you know, in order to unclog our pore and, you know, keep our scalps clean, because like I always say, a clean scalp is, you know, the foundation for healthy hair. So yeah, because of that, moisture is super important, you know, to us, those of us that have, you know, 4B4C hair, kinky hair, coily hair. We have to add moisture to our hair all the time. Okay, some of us even every 48 hours, you know, if you have dry prone hair. So that is why you are going to see that a lot of black women hair is breaking at a higher rate than the one it's growing. Okay, because like we established before, hair only grows half an inch a month. So if you're not very good at reapplying moisture on your hair all the time, then your hair is going to break. That's why you braid your hair, and then once you remove your braids, you know, 6 weeks after, you see that, you know, your hair seems the same length or even shorter than it was before you installed the braids. That's because you have not been very good at moisturizing your hair while you had the braids in. Or some of us will just cornrow, you know, our hair and then pour a unit on top and do absolutely nothing with our hair, and then after a couple of months you see again nothing happened, your hair just broke, you know, and it isn't any longer than it was when you started protecting it, or whatever it is, yeah, or call it. So yeah, that's why sometimes it seems like, you know, black women as a whole have shorter hair, or our hair is not growing like every other ethnicity of women, because there's only one race, and it's the human race, where it is. Shrinkage is also another reason why it can seem like our hair isn't growing. Okay, my hair is neck length if you go to my last video, which is a wash day routine, but in reality, straightened, my hair is armpit length. Okay, so because you see a woman walking around with neck length hair, it doesn't mean that that is the actual length of her hair. You know, if her natural 4B4C hair, it's in its natural state, it can seem like a lot shorter than it actually is. A lot of the time it may seem like our hair is not growing, we may feel like our hair is not growing, when it is in fact a lot longer than it used to be. So yeah, those are my takes on, you know, the long hair genetic thing. I don't think that having long hair in and out itself, you know, is genetics, but I do feel like some people are genetically predisposed to have longer hair. That doesn't mean that those who are not genetically predisposed to have it, you know, except if they have, of course, a super short anagen phase, then really there's nothing they can do. But other than that, I do feel like most people can have hair anywhere from armpit to bra strap, you know, with a proper routine, like a proper moisture routine. If you have 4B4C hair, you know, no excessive usage of heat and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't think that long hair is inherently genetic, but the answer is still kind of yes and no, because there is a genetical component to long hair or longer hair, according to not only my opinion but also science. Okay, so yeah, I hope that I did an okay job at explaining it. If you liked this video or found it helpful, or perhaps even learned something you didn't know, do not forget to give it a thumbs up. In the comment section down below, let me know what are your thoughts, because like I said, this is a subject that divides a lot. It seems like a subgroup of people think no matter what, the hair growth is genetic and another group doesn't. So let me know in the comment section down below, which team are you? Are you team genetics or not? Do not forget to subscribe to my channel as well, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye guys, thanks for watching. Mwah.